3 of 4. Seattle had this division all but locked up, and now you got the Cards, Seahawks, and Rams in a logjam at 6 and 3. Brandon, I'll start with you. Thursday Night Football tonight on Fox. Who you got, Cardinals or Seahawks?
Woo, this is going to be a good one. I have the Seahawks winning. Jenna, they have to win. Sometimes you got to go back to the root to fix the problem. You go back to week 7 when all this mess started. Russell Wilson threw 3 interceptions, and since then he's still been throwing interceptions. So I am confident that Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, those guys get it done. Bobby Wagner, that they turn this thing around. They're going back to the root of this thing, and they're going to face it and they're going to fix it. Russell Wilson is too smart of a player. He's too talented. He's a great leader to stay down this path. They'll fix it. The offensive line needs to be better. Russ needs to be better. The whole Russ, let Russ cook thing, I think is pretty much over. You heard Pete Carroll this week talking about getting back to the basics and getting back to the run game. So, Nick, look, I'm confident that they'll get it done, but it's going to be hard. This Cardinals team is a contender.
Yep. Well, and the Cardinals team is a contender, and you would think this game would be bigger for the Cardinals because the Seahawks are the established force in that division. The Cardinals are the new team, newish team, trying to establish itself. But this game is actually bigger for Seattle, and it's bigger for Seattle for the same reason that if we go back a couple weeks to the game I kept harping on, the Tampa Bay-New Orleans game was bigger for Tampa. Whoever loses the first matchup between divisional contenders has to win the second matchup if they want a chance of winning the division. If Seattle loses tonight, the Cardinals are up not 1 game in the standings, but 2 games in the standings because of the tiebreaker. And so I do like Seattle tonight because I think they are going to be the more desperate team. They have lost 3 out of 4. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are playing their best football of the year, having scored 30 in 5 straight games and having won 4 out of 5. And I didn't love how the Cardinals closed last week. Now, you might say, what the hell do you mean? The best play of the NFL season was how they closed last week. But if you watched that game, and if you watched that game with a very acute eye, like those of us with Arizona minus 2.5, Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay, here we
what
go.
you saw was a Cardinals team
you have cute eyes.
up three with 9 minutes left, blow a drive, get the ball back, go 3 and out, get the ball back, go 3 and out again, just begging Josh Allen to take control of the game, and he finally did. Now, Kyler and DeAndre saved them, but it wasn't a great closing kick by Arizona. And Wilds, the other side of this is, the whole time Russell Wilson's been there, he's never lost 3 games in a row. He's never lost 4 out of 5 games. So I do think Seattle wins a close, high-scoring, very fun game this evening on Fox.
Okay, I've got a question for everybody. I'll start with you, Brandon. I like to be generally optimistic. I'm an optimistic guy, but I'm also a guy, I got a big dose of realism. So when I see a game end on a Hail Mary, a part of me is like super excited and happy for the league and just happy we're celebrating in the living room. And a part of me is just saying, kind of lucky. And when the Patriots were winning all their games at the end, or like long field goals, like, the Pete Carroll thing, Malcolm Butler thing, I was like, man, kind of lucky.
Yeah.
When, like, you know, when the Lions win a game, they've won 2 weird games because, you know, Todd Gurley's scoring a touchdown.
Every Lions win
kind of lucky.
is lucky. That's correct. That's correct. Every Lions win. You're like, oh, that was lucky.
Brandon, do you think that there is an emotional high that is going to affect the Cardinals because they were so pumped up? Or do you think they're like, you know what, we escaped that one. We need to check ourselves. We're not as good as we think we are. We need to check ourselves. Let's get refocused on the Seattle game.
No, this is good for the team. This is good for everyone in the locker room, including the ball boys, the athletic trainers, all the support staff. Everybody's feeling really good right now because, you know, the Buffalo Bills team, Jenna, they're really good. They've been playing some good ball the last couple weeks. Now, before then, I don't know what happened, how things got off the rails. But when you walk back into that locker room after that type of play, the music is loud, everybody's cheering. That's what you play for. That is the best moment in all of sports, is when you win a game like that and you go back into that locker room and you celebrate with your teammates.
Russ, by the way, 8-1 on Thursday Night Football. So we wanted to give Russ the MVP this year. We came into the season wanting to give it to him, but the MVP chatter has turned to Kyler the last couple of weeks, especially after the aforementioned Hail Mary heroics. Kyler was asked about his MVP bid. Take a listen to this.
Those guys, you know, that they were mentioning, you know, Tom, Aaron, Patrick, you know, they've won Super Bowls. They've won MVPs. You know, I haven't done anything. So as far as MVP deal, yeah, I'm not even really worried about that. I was as far as my personal confidence. Do I believe that I'm one of the best in the league? Yeah, of course. I mean, I think anybody should be confident in themselves. So that's what I meant by that. As far as the MVP deal, I don't really, you know, I just try to go out and, you know, lead my team to a win. I said it. You know, the individual goals come as if you win. So.
You noticed the three names he mentioned? Tom, Aaron, Patrick. Was there a name he left out there? Nick, which quarterback is more in need of a big performance tonight for their MVP campaign? Is it going to be Kyler or is it going to be Russ? Who needs it more?
I think they are actually dead even as far as need and as far as MVP standings. And I look at this as a game not where either one of them can win the MVP, but one of them can lose it. And they've arrived to this point in Week 11 via very different paths. Russell Wilson was the rabbit in the race. Russell Wilson got out to a massive lead, and over the last month, a handful of folks have caught him, and a couple have even passed him. Kyler, on the other hand, if we would have asked MVP rankings after Week 4, when the Cardinals were 2-2 and Kyler's numbers were not overwhelming, he wouldn't have been one of the first 30 names listed. Kyler now, he's gotten in the race kind of more like the tortoise. He's slow but sure, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, could he win it? And so this, to me, Brandon's an elimination game for the losing quarterback, because Mahomes, national television against a bad defense, chance to put up a monster game. Aaron Rodgers, Fox Game of the Week, chance to put up a monster game. Tom Brady, Monday Night Football, national television, opportunity to play a really good game. So all our MVP candidates are going to be on the major stage. If the loser of this game, to me, because they likely won't win their division either, eliminates themselves from the race. But right now, these two guys are dead even.
Nick, listening to you write that out right there, man, got me so excited about this game. Could this be the most exciting game this year? You got so much on the line. First of all, before we even get to the MVP discussion, like, this is the division, like you said. Like, you have to win this game if you want to lead this division and have a chance at going to the Super Bowl. This is a must-win game. Now, MVP. Look, it's both of these guys need to get it done tonight. When you look at Kyler, he's having a Lamar Jackson type of season. Lamar Jackson won it last year. He won it with style. He won it with grace. And when you look at Kyler Murray, it's the same thing. This dude is getting it done on the ground. He's getting it done through the air. It's exciting. It's good football to watch. And then Russell Wilson. There's some guys, when you Google search, you want to see a few things by their name. When I see Russell Wilson, I see Super Bowl champ. I see Walter Payton Man of the Year. I see All-Pro, Pro Bowler. And I also think when you see Russell Wilson, you want to see MVP. It just goes with his name. So for Russell Wilson, he's not out of it. He gave it to Patrick Mahomes.